Hi crafters, and today we are going to do a new project called Paper Mache Memories. Here's one I made earlier, and here's another one on the wall behind me. Paper Mache is a lovely craft. It's accessible for all people because you do not need many materials. You just need some old paper. This could be from a newspaper, an old magazine, or an old book. You also need PVA glue and a paintbrush and some cardboard. Now I'm going to go through in detail all the materials that we need in a moment, but let's just think about the project for a minute. So it's all about celebrating happy memories and the happy times ahead. So it's going to make a nice cheerful artwork to put on your wall. You can hang it up, and you could also make a collection of them because they look lovely hanging together. So let's have a closer look at all the materials that we need for this project. So we have here a collection of everything you need. You will need some cardboard, maybe from an old cereal box. Here's some I've cut out earlier. Or you could use some brown card. This is a piece from a parcel that I had left over. Here's some old paper. Some of it has been cut from an old book. Some bits of newspaper and old graph paper. Now you want to tear all your papers up into small squares. A variety of larger pieces and some smaller pieces. Have all of this ready in a pile so that we can begin our project. Now I've also got here some little pieces of patterned paper, and it's already cut up into smaller pieces ready to use later. I've selected pieces that I specifically like, colour schemes that I think are quite pretty and will complement my piece. Now I've also got some old magazine cuttings. I have quite an influx of magazines to do with gardening, so I'm going to use some of these lovely pictures of roses on my piece. Now you'll also need a paintbrush and some PVA glue for this project. A Pritt stick won't work. You will need glue that can be spread and layered up easily. Now the most important part of this project is a centrepiece. This will be a photo that you will put in the middle of your artwork, and then we can theme our decorations around it. I've got two old photographs here. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet, so I'll decide later. And while we're here, I'll show you another smaller piece I made earlier from an old holiday photo, and also this one. For this one I haven't used a photograph, but instead I've used a picture of a butterfly that I cut out from a magazine. I've also used some nice words here. So let's get started on our project. You're going to start by cutting out a shape from your cardboard. It could be any shape you want and any size that you want it to be. Don't go too big because you don't want it to be unmanageable, but don't go too small either because you want to fit a photograph on it. So I've already cut this heart shape. You need your PVA glue and your paintbrush. So let's show you how to make your first layer of paper mache. So with paper mache, the most important thing to do is to lay quite a thick layer of glue onto your piece. Now you can use your paintbrush to pick up your little pieces of paper. This is a great way to avoid really sticky fingers. Now you don't need to be too neat and tidy with this. They don't all have to be laying in the same direction. We're just going to layer pieces up. Now the most important part of paper mache is that you paste plenty of glue underneath each piece and plenty of glue over the top of each piece. This will ensure that you end up with a lovely, flat, shiny, firm piece of finished paper mache. You want to make sure you use plenty of glue over the top of each piece and also underneath each piece, so you don't end up with bumpy air bubbles or flappy bits hanging off. Now you're going to cover your entire piece in papers. Now you can see here I've gone over the edge of my heart. So I'm going to continue doing that, because I'm going to show you a little trick which is a great way to go around the edges of your paper mache to give you a lovely finished look. So you're going to continue to do that all around your piece. Remember that your piece might be square, or it might be an oval or a circle. It doesn't matter, it doesn't make any difference. This is a great way to do the edges of your artwork. So once you've done all around the edges, turn it over and put some glue on this side, and then use your paintbrush to manipulate and fold the paper over. Now, can you see that eventually you will end up with a lovely edges covered in paper mache? And then once you've done that, you can then paper mache the entire back of your piece and the front. This will give you a lovely finished piece if you've done both sides. Here's one I made earlier. I've left this to dry for a couple of hours and now it's firm. I did 2 layers and now it's ready to decorate. The next stage is to choose your photograph. So hopefully you've got a variety of pictures in front of you. It doesn't have to be an old photo. It could be a picture from a magazine, like these butterflies that I cut out earlier. Or it could be a picture of a rose or a flower or something that you really love. Something that will put a smile on your face, right in the middle here. Now you're going to glue your centerpiece on. An old black and white photo. It's not actually that old. A couple of years old, me and my little boy. I'm going to put that right in the middle of my heart there. That looks really lovely already. I love the old papers around the outside. I'm not so keen on those big brown bits, so I'm going to cover those up in a moment. So once you've stuck your centerpiece on, it's time to decorate around the edges of that and make it look really pretty. So let me show you some examples of ones I made earlier to give you some ideas. So for this one, I cut out a picture of planet Earth because this one had a travelling theme. I was in Australia, so I've also cut out a picture from a magazine of a koala, and I've cut out some butterflies. I love what butterflies symbolise, and they always give me hope and they make me smile. This little piece I've kept quite simple. I've put a photograph in the middle, and then I've torn some paper around the edges, but I've also cut out a little word here, thank you, and I found that from an old book and I thought that would be perfect on this piece. Now for this one here, I have cut out little pictures of flowers. I've put a few buttons on and some colourful papers, and I've covered up the hard edges of the photograph. So don't be afraid to overlap onto your photograph if you want to. So let's get started decorating. I've got all the pieces here ready so that I can easily see and pick and choose the pretty pieces that I would like to use. Here we are, we're ready to start decorating the outside edges of our piece. So I've stuck my photo on in the middle, and I have prepared some pieces ready to glue on. So like I said, I am going to just ever so slightly overlap the edges of my photograph. I am going to hide, I'm going to cover up these dark pieces here. I like that one there with the word on it. Got a lovely little butterfly here, and I think that will look lovely in the top corner. I'm quite happy with this piece so far. So I've put my centerpiece photo on. I've put some flowers around the edges and a little butterfly. Now I could also add some buttons if I wanted to, and any other little decorations or pictures that you may have to make this more special. Now when this is dry, I am going to make a little tiny hole at the top there. Do this very carefully because your piece might be quite hard, so take your time if you are going to make a small hole. Once you've made a hole, you can cut some string and thread it through. This means you can hang it up, and it makes a lovely hanging decoration where you can put it on your wall. So I hope you've enjoyed learning how to do paper mache, and I hope you have fun making your own lovely paper mache pieces. Try to have a go at making them in all different shapes and sizes. The main thing is to enjoy yourself, have fun, and explore this lovely craft. Thank you, and see you again next time. Bye!